The one with the girl from Poughkeepsie is the 10th episode of the 4th season of Friends. This is directed by Gary Halvorson, and there will be spoilers from now as I discuss this episode. And this has one of my all-time favourite Phoebe songs in it. Interestingly, the title refers to part of the episode that I think takes up the least amount of time and is actually the least interesting part of the narrative. But maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe other people really love the story with Ross. There are several aspects to this, and I will go through the various parts of the narrative. I'll deal with the part with Ross first of all. Ross meets a girl from Poughkeepsie, and I have tried to say that 5 times and messed it up every time. So I apologise if I mispronounce it, and if I do say that again, I apologise if I seem like I'm saying it really slowly. It is a word that just doesn't come out of my mouth correctly. Obviously, she lives far away. Ross is really tired about this relationship, and then he starts to date somebody else who's closer. And honestly, I feel like this is definitely filler and not very interesting. So even though it's the title of the episode, and the titles don't always refer to the main part, but even though it's the title, I feel like it's not that interesting. The rest of the episode kind of is. Chandler decides to set Rachel up with some people from work. Initially, he's going to set her up with one person, but he happens to let it slip that she's just looking for a fling, something casual, and obviously he shouldn't have done that. And suddenly, all of his co-workers are trying to buy a date with Rachel, basically giving him things, cigars and baseball tickets or hockey tickets or whatever it was, sports tickets. And Rachel finds out that Chandler said she wanted a fling, and understandably she's upset about this, but she goes on these dates, and then she finds out that Chandler backtracked and actually said no, she's looking for something serious, and she's not happy about that either. So Chandler could not win with this one. But the moral there is, if you are going to set somebody up with somebody, don't say they're looking for something serious, don't say they're looking for something casual, let them discuss it on their own terms. Not a bad part of the episode. And then we have part of the narrative focusing on Phoebe, but I'll come back to that at the end, and part with Monica and Joey. Monica has had a terrible day at work. We learn at the previous episode's ending that this is not going to be an easy position for her because the staff do not like her for no reason. For no reason than she was replacing somebody they loved. They wrote "quit bitch" on her hat, and Chandler suggests that Monica fires somebody so that she can show them who's boss. And Joey decides to nominate himself, and he gives himself the work nickname Dragon, and he's supposed to do what they rehearsed, where Monica asks if anybody has a problem with what she said. Joey is supposed to say he has a problem and she's meant to fire him. But Joey's got money in his hands. He's just learned that he can make tips as a waiter, and he's doing quite well, and he doesn't stick to the plan. I think the scenes in the restaurant, in the kitchen, are really great. We have Fred Stoller as the waiter. I think he is brilliant and really thoroughly enjoyed those scenes. And then Monica ends up getting covered in sauce, which I think is a really iconic moment, with Monica dancing covered in sauce. And she kind of has a bit of a breakdown. And Joey does a great thing and steps up and finally says he has a problem, and she fires him. And it's tough to experience because I don't want to see Joey getting fired. But it's really great to see Monica in this role of power. It's really great to see people finally listening to her. And it's certainly something that I always find to be really entertaining. So really, one of my 2 favourite parts of the episode. My other favourite part is Phoebe writing the holiday song, because this is one of my favourite Phoebe songs. I sing it to myself so often. Not just around Christmas, but particularly around Christmas, but year-round. I'm sure I'm not the only one. She's trying to write a song with all of the friends' names in it, and what we have at the end is just glorious, and I love it, and it's easily one of my top Phoebe songs. Needless to say, the one with the girl from Poughkeepsie is a really brilliant episode. I don't love the part with Ross, but everything else I think worked really well. And ultimately, with Monica, Joey, and Phoebe, their stories, I really thoroughly enjoyed. Definitely a pretty great episode with some really iconic moments.